A woman stood in the church. Her wedding were being prepared, but her eyes kept drifting to her fiancé and his work friend Lily. They stood close. Make sure everything goes smoothly tomorrow, okay? The words stung. Shouldn't he be relying on her for their big day? At the rehearsal dinner, Lily sat beside the groom, cracking jokes. If anything goes wrong, I'm ready to step in and save the day. The table erupted in laughter, but the bride-to-be felt a pang of discomfort. The next day, during the ceremony, her fiancé began his vows, but halfway through he paused, glancing briefly at Lily in the front row. Was he thinking about her? She felt invisible, standing alone in what should have been their most intimate moment. After the ceremony, she pulled him aside. Am I really the person you see beside you in this marriage? Or is there no room for me in your life with her here? Her fiancé hesitated, caught off guard. The realization was clear. Love wasn't about competing for attention. It was about respect and trust. She decided to pause the celebrations, knowing a marriage couldn't begin on shaky ground. This wealthy businessman called his 3 sons to his deathbed. I'm leaving everything to whoever proves they love me most. The first son immediately quit his job. Dad, I'll care for you full time. The second son sold his house. Here's $500,000 for your medical bills. But the third son shook his head. I'm sorry, Dad. I can't give you money I don't have. The dying father's eyes filled with tears. Get out. You're no son of mine. Heartbroken, the youngest son left. His brothers smirked, already planning how to split the fortune. Months passed. The father grew sicker, but his older sons were nowhere to be found. They'd moved to luxury hotels, spending his money freely. One rainy night, the father collapsed. Alone and forgotten, he crawled to his phone. Only one number he could remember. Son, please help me, he whispered. Within minutes, the door burst open. The youngest son rushed in, carrying him to the hospital. But I disowned you, the father cried. You're still my dad. Love doesn't come with conditions. At the lawyer's office, the will was read. Everything went to the youngest son. Comment yes if real love has no price tag. I stood outside my granddaughter's school, eager to see their faces light up. But when they spotted me, their smiles faded. They whispered, then turned away. My daughter stood nearby, arms crossed. Her stare was cold. She looked at me like I was nothing. How did love turn into this? 9 years ago, my daughter needed stability. I wanted to give her a future. I had a house sitting empty, so I told her, live here, pay the mortgage, and one day, it will be yours. She hugged me, teary-eyed. She called me a blessing, but things started to shift. She changed the floors, replaced appliances, never asking if it was okay. She patched a leaky roof, but I hired professionals for a full replacement. I covered the costs, believing she'd appreciate it. Instead, she resented it. One day, I sat with a pile of bills. The house was still in my name. Taxes, repairs, extra fees. I had carried the weight alone. Therefore, I told her, you need to pay more or leave. Her face paled. Mom, we had an agreement. I sighed. The house was always mine. Her hands trembled. You tricked me. The anger in her voice cut deep. I thought I was helping, but to her, I had stolen her future. She left, taking my grandkids with her. Maybe one day she'll understand. Or maybe I lost more than I ever gave.
The bakery was so small. An elderly baker sat quietly behind the counter, frail, tired, but smiling. Her apprentice, the young man she had raised as her own, entered with a grin. Granny, meet my girlfriend. The girl looked around at the worn tables, simple pastries, modest decor. She frowned. You said your grandmother owned a successful bakery. This is so basic. She turned and walked out. The apprentice stood still, heartbroken. Months passed. Again, he brought a girl. Granny, this is my new girlfriend. A glance, a frown, silence. She too walked away. Frustrated, he said, Granny, maybe we should stop hiding the truth. She only smiled and whispered, one day, you'll understand. A year later, another girl came. She looked at the old woman and gently said, you never told me your granny was unwell. He sighed, bitter. It doesn't matter. Just leave like the rest. She paused, then returned with an envelope. I don't have much, but I want to help. The baker slowly stood. Wait, you're not sick? The girl gasped. With a soft laugh, the baker said, no, dear. I was waiting for someone kind, just like you. Comment yes if you agree.
It was supposed to be a simple birthday dinner. My girlfriend insisted on planning it. I'm not a fan of grand celebrations, but she wanted to make it special. She booked a nice restaurant, invited our close friends and family, and everything seemed perfect. That was until dessert. The waiter brought out a cake, but instead of happy birthday, it said, will you marry me, Sarah? I froze. Everyone around us started clapping, and my girlfriend looked at me, waiting for my response. This is the best surprise ever, right? But I wasn't excited. I was blindsided. I didn't know what to say. My girlfriend, thinking I was hesitating, went on about how she knew I didn't like big gestures, but couldn't wait any longer. She had taken matters into her own hands. I stood up, furious. This is my birthday. If you wanted a proposal, you should have talked to me first. I grabbed my stuff and walked out. The room went silent. I could hear her friends calling me an asshole, saying I ruined the night. I didn't care. Back at home, my phone exploded with messages. Sarah was mortified, and my family was split. Some said I should have just gone along with with it. But others understood. It wasn't her night to take over, it was mine. And I wasn't going to let her turn it into something I didn't want. A man sat alone in a cozy cafe waiting for Jane, the girl he had been dating for months. But today, Jane sent him a strange text. "We need to talk." When Jane arrived, she looked nervous. The man offered her a smile, but she didn't smile back. "I need to tell you something. We're not exclusive." "What do you mean?" Jane explained that she was seeing someone else too. The man didn't yell or cry. Instead, he stood up quietly and walked out into the cold evening air. Was he overreacting? Should he have asked her about exclusivity before? For days, the man tried to move on, but at a party with their friends, he overheard Jane telling someone, "I don't get why he's so upset. It's not a big deal." The man couldn't hold back anymore. "It is a big deal. I cared about us. You didn't." Jane looked surprised but didn't respond. The man left the party feeling both hurt and free. Love isn't just about feelings. It's about understanding and respect. He realized it wasn't wrong to want someone who shared his values. From that day on, the man promised himself one thing: to always be clear about what he wanted and to never settle for less. It was Christmas morning, and my 11-year-old daughter Lily was opening her gifts. She squealed with joy when she saw 2 new dolls, her favorites, but my sister Sarah frowned. "Isn't Lily too old for dolls?" Her younger kid stared at the dolls with greedy eyes. "She'd enjoy them more. These are Lily's gifts. She loves dolls." The next morning, Lily ran to me. "Mom, my dolls are gone." We searched everywhere but couldn't find them. Then I remembered Aunt Sarah and her kid. I called her, but she didn't sound sorry at all. "They're just dolls. Your daughter is too old for them anyway. My kid needed them more." I was shocked. Therefore, I decided to go to her house myself. When I got there, I found her kid playing with Lily's dolls. I turned to Sarah. "These don't belong to you. I'm taking them back." "You're teaching Lily the wrong lesson. She needs to grow up. Growing up isn't about giving up the things you love. It's about being yourself and respecting others." Sarah didn't say anything, but she didn't stop me as I took the dolls and left. When I gave them back to Lily, she hugged me tightly. "Thank you, Mom. Never let anyone tell you what you're too old to enjoy." And from then on, I knew I wasn't just teaching her, I was learning too. An old man walked into his quiet home office, expecting to start his day with a hot cup of coffee and a well-prepared presentation. Instead, his computer, files, and even his chair were wrapped in layer upon layer of shiny gray duct tape. The man's heart sank. Behind him stood Dylan, his stepson. "It's just a prank. Chill out." But the old man didn't laugh. He grabbed scissors and started cutting through the tape, only to find his files torn and the presentation turned into a mess, and he felt embarrassed in front of his colleague. That evening, the old man confronted Dylan. "This isn't funny. You need to respect my work." "It's not a big deal." When the old's wife, Karen, came home, he told her everything. "He's just a kid. You're taking this too seriously." "No, he's old enough to know better." Therefore, the old man told Dylan to move out. A week later, Dylan called. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't think about how much it would hurt you." The old man was ready to forgive him, but then came another call. Dylan and his friends had been caught vandalizing a park. The police were involved. Pranks are fun until someone gets hurt or something important is ruined. You need to take responsibility. Dylan nodded, ashamed. He worked to clean up the park and apologized to everyone involved. One sunny morning, Haran, the proud owner of a beautiful vineyard, went to check his wine cellar. He gasped. His most precious bottle of wine was missing. Haran felt his heart sink. Haran asked everyone working at the vineyard, but no one admitted to stealing the wine. He started to suspect his trusted helper, Tamar, because she had the key to the cellar. But he also thought about Luca, the gardener, who loved wine. Even young Samir, who often wandered near the cellar, seemed suspicious to him. Therefore, Haran began watching his workers closely. He followed them around and even checked the cellar at night. His distrust grew, and the workers felt hurt. One by one, they left the vineyard. Tamar, feeling untrusted, also decided to leave. Now Haran was alone, with no one to help him. One stormy night, heavy rain flooded the vineyard. Part of the wine cellar's wall collapsed. Haran rushed to see the damage and found something shocking: the broken remains of his missing wine bottle. The wine hadn't been stolen after all. It had fallen because the old shelf had collapsed. Haran sat in the muddy cellar, realizing he had pushed everyone away because of his mistrust. He felt ashamed and lonely. A rich man laughed as he walked past a poor woman praying outside the church. "Lady, if your God cares so much, why are you still broke?" The woman kept praying quietly. "I have faith. God provides." The man mocked her. "I don't pray, and look how blessed I am. Your God doesn't exist." He threw coins at her feet. "Here's your miracle money." The woman picked up the coins and smiled. "Thank you, sir. God works through people. Stop giving me credit for your fake God." Every day he saw her praying. Every day he mocked her faith. "Still waiting for your God to save you?" One morning he found his bank account frozen. Fraud investigation. His business license suspended. His car repossessed. Desperate, he went to the same church. The woman was there, now wearing clean clothes, holding keys. "Ma'am, you look different. The coins you gave me? I bought a lottery ticket with them. $50,000. But more importantly, I prayed for you every day." He broke down crying. "I mocked you. I mocked God. Why would you pray for me?" "Because that's what faith teaches. Love your enemies. Pray for those who hurt you." She handed him an envelope. "Here's money for food and an address for a job interview. you. God doesn't give up on anyone. The man fell to his knees. Forgive me. Drop a heart if you believe in divine timing.